What is up, legends? We are back, and we're back in Sins. So there was a lot to actually talk about as far as characters in this because we got an overstacked week. And remember what happens when we have overstacked weeks. Just remember what happens. So don't be shocked if next week we get Levy, if we get wedding dress Levy, because you'll see in a second. So we pretty much have Riot of Blood, and Riot of Blood basically is the PvP event where you just need all your wins. So basically just pick on people who are weaker. You cannot have an ego in this event because there is not enough tries to be having an ego. You got to make sure that you have all that you can win and the quickest possible, to be honest, and do your best. Just basically do your best. What you can also do with Riot is you can win and then have your defense be weaker. So you fall back down again. So you don't end up at the point of being all the way on the top and then you got to face a whole bunch of whales. And then, yeah, you ain't going to get no wins that way. You'll get your tries done, yeah, but you ain't going to get no wins. So that's the best way that you can go about doing it. It's always been the best way. The weekly seller is the usual, which is going to have all the goodies, and make sure that you claim it. I believe now the game actually shows you this first, which is a good thing because I know a lot of people probably ignore that for the most part. I forget it sometimes as well. So the actual event is a repeat event, which is the Time House of Souls, and you pretty much just need to go in here and do that. As you can see, I have not, because I was just looking around all the character stuff because there's a bunch of character stuff going on right now, which is pretty lit. But that's the event, and what that does is actually help out with your limit breaking. So when you head over here to here and you go into shop, so you see you have your insignia, Silver Knight. Actually, that's the con system. I'm sorry, not limit breaking. And this is where you stack up on these, pretty much. Pretty easy. Nothing too crazy. You can just do like natural stuff, and then if you want to go back to doing throwing the crosshairs because they have all these goodies in here. As you can see, I've just been pushing lightly on this. The character never came out, so I didn't really try that hard, so to speak. And I'm not going to summon this week anyway, so I'm probably not going to get Panda unless she comes out freely. Now, what we have going on, which you see, we still have the contract blood going on right now, which is going to give us the, well, actually not still, but it came back, which gives you the pack frenzy, which is between Asmodeus and Satan right there, which is pretty cool. So if you haven't gotten those contracts, you can turn around and get those contracts now. We'll just hit that free up real quick. Right now, let's just hit the freeze while we're doing that. Which this is going to be probably the consistency of this video because they put a lot here. Like this is a lot, yo. And again, when companies overstack like this with banners, where even if you're a whale, this is too much to actually have here as a whale. This is meant to drain you. This is a drain week because that means they're gonna put something the following week that's going to make you want to spend. That's pretty much the trap of it. So these three characters are amazing, and just the simple fact of even all three of them step up, that they're even here right now, all three of them are amazing. You have Mammoth Harvest Witch, which she's a pain in the ass with PvP. Like I don't ever let the game auto. If she's on the team and I'm facing them, I gotta manually pay attention to that because she's just a pain in the butt. Did I call it Asmodeus? That was because this is Asmo right here. But whatever, you guys get it. You know who that is. Asmo right here, which is Dark Eros. I already have her. I have everybody except, actually, I don't have Harvest Witch. I don't have Harvest Witch, and I don't have Speedrunner. Speedrunner is pretty good because she's a speed unit. Specifically probably designed to take the place of what Furka does, but in my opinion, she doesn't. She's just a different alternative, but she doesn't because she doesn't scale. And as long as the character doesn't scale, I'm never going to make them override the OGs that scale. That's just, no, you just don't get to do that. You can't scale. So it's just in my opinion. Other people will not agree with that, but that's just the reality of the situation. It's always been like that in gacha, whether people want to agree or not agree. If characters have the ability to basically override and overpower, basically from like infinite scaling, then the new characters can't overlap them. They're just alternates. So that's just the way it works. That's why OG Lucy is not going to be overlapped anytime soon. I believe in JP, she started to be now because other characters are getting the same treatment that she has. But until that happens, OG Lucy is still the best. Now, you also have the select summon right here, which is the OG versions. Let's go ahead in. I know hipsters, when I say that, hipsters is like, no, but you could do this, but you can't limit break the character easy. The character is not in cons. The character is not featured in events, so you can't be sitting at 15 plus without spending $1,000 freaking dollars. It's not meta. like no, it's just not. That's just hopium. So let's head over here to that. Like, I have to reiterate that because people fall into that trap. They fall into that trap. Like, on paper, it looks cool. And I be the reality, the reality check for people. Like, do you have $1,000 to make that happen? Like, this character over here costs time. This character over here costs 1,000. Like, when I say it like that, it makes a whole hell of a lot of sense, don't it? Alrighty, let's keep it rolling. And we're also going to talk a bit about these two characters right here, because I'm just going in and I want to just, make this as quick as possible. But Layla and Pixie are normal characters. They're natural fives. So you don't necessarily have to do this or have to summon this, because they'll eventually be in a normal banner. However, Global has not done it as quickly as JP has done it. I just want to point that out. Putting the normal characters and the natural Nat 5 banners. It just hasn't happened as fast for whatever reason. Well, we know the reason, but Alright, so that's all the freebies. We're going to head over to here because we got 10, and hopefully Panda will bring her pretty self out here. Did she? Oh, she might have. She might have, boys. YouTube luck. We're gonna know because she's big as hell on the screen. like, she just is. I actually ended up with 3 of her on JP, like free. Like, she just came out 3 times. This is because JP just be on that. They be on that. They just, oh, you like characters? Here's characters. That's what JP be doing. No, it's Michael. Rip. Well, not Rip, but definitely not who we wanted. Why are you in this? You actually are in this? Michael, really? Really, Michael? That's what you're doing? You stole my panda, Michael? Cause that when that happens, what? Wait, what? Michael, you better not. You stay your ass. You better not. I swear to God. That's freaking Lucy. Michael was like, all right, hold this L. That's actually funny. I just said no Lucy too. I cursed myself. I actually cursed myself. I can't even do anything with that besides inherit it. It actually hurts. The OGs basically stole my panda back to back. And you see, that was what I'm saying right now. Like, the game has a funny way when I'm saying stuff during the video of actually proving it and showing it to you. Like, the game just literally gave me 2 OG characters that have scaling in both cons and all of the systems. And they have the blood packs. Well, Lucy has the blood packs. I don't think Michael does. Like, hello, like, the scaling. Because I see people be like, no, but this character, I was like, how could you think this character? I was like, bro, it can't ever be meta if it's not going to be able to scale as high as the other characters. Like, they're just gods. You like, and you don't need to spend any money. They're just gods. Free gods, basically. Like, you just get a god for spending time. Basically, there's no, like, I will argue you to the death and basically call you just like a fanboy of the character, because there's just no way. Like, absolutely not. So with that saying, you can head over into here, and he's like, she just, wow. She just does that. She just shows. She just put him on the glass, basically. So this is Dixie, and we're gonna go right into this. Misfortune deals a 140% attack damage to the target and one random target if the target is affected by slack. If inflicts 2 stacks of listless, which is an interesting debuff as always, and additionally damages it by 175% attack. Listless is the attack down, and then they get a stack up to 75%, which is yikes. Heartbreak Hotel deals 290% attack as damage and inflicts slack on the target. After the action, removes slack and injured and confused from all allies. Increases the skill CD of strength type enemies by 1, so she screws strength type. Makes their skill cooldown longer. Rock Prisoner deals 360% attack as damage and attacks 1 additional time with normal attack. After the attack inflicts confuse on 2 enemy targets with the highest attack and removes gale and speed up from all enemies, which sucks. Confuse the caster with attack allies, and I'm going to explain why these characters are a thing and what they're doing with these characters in a second. King of Singers analysis: when a turn starts, remove all damage reduction from all enemies. That's nice. And buffs from 2 enemy targets with the highest attack. That's nice too. Triggers during Dixie's first. That's supposed to be first. First felt like fist. First 4 devs, that's a typo, please. 4 action turns, Keen Talk, when the target is a strength type cast, deals additional damage, that's what it's supposed to say. Inflict critical on the agi type enemies, increasing their crit by 8% stacks, 2 turns. Alright, so essentially what this character is one, is a guild boss character, because it's for your agi team, to buff your agi team and negate the strength type that you will be fighting. And 2 is also a counter PvP unit. Not so much a PvE unit that you would use in like all the normal content stages. You can use other characters for that. This is literally designed to screw over strength units and buff your complete agi team. And most of these units, which are because you call them natural 5s, that's what their jobs usually are. You typically don't use them a lot and other things outside of that, and this is typically used in a counter to a strength type team. Like if you know you're about to face a strength type team, then you would throw this character out here. Like if you see them on your player list and they're gonna screw over the team that you have, then you would throw her out there to do that. Granted, this is a character that needs to be around plus 15 for her to get her full benefit, and that's usually what the natural 5s are for. They need to be around that to have their full benefit. And on top of that, she's not going to have cons, so she's not going to be extra beefy. Like, you're not going to be able to build her to be extra beefy beyond the star shards, and we know how expensive that is. So again, this is a counter character. A cute one. And next up we have Layla. All right, so Layla is Moonwatch. Well, her skill is called Moonwatch. I don't know why it's two V's. That's probably a typo too. Deals 112% attack as damage 2 times and inflicts injured on a target, increasing the move gauge of ally tech types cast by 30%. If this attack is a critical hit, removes dot status from all allies, and then she causes injured. You know, that messes with healing. They seem to do that with the corruption units like that when they have like that little corruption effect going on. That's pretty much what they're going to go for. Brent 4 deals 71% attack as damage 3 times and inflicts defense break, which is nice. After damaging a target, also removes buffs from 2 random enemies if your target is affected by injured, additionally damages by 100%. And defense break is always nice. I like seeing that on any unit in any game. 8/4 deals 350% attack as damage before the action, removes all damage reduction and harden from enemies, increases the move gauge of 2 random enemies, 2 random allies by 30%, which is nice. She's a pusher, not very fast at 1198. There's characters that start like at 1600, so like this is kind of like a middle of a road type of thing. I wouldn't use her for that, even though she does have the ability to do that as a special. It's a good after effect type of thing, if you want to have her like a side effect, the boost after the fact, but I wouldn't use her as a speed push. Judge's Mercy, Calm Mind, when the battle starts, grants the caster all damage reduction for 1 turn. Swirl, when the battle starts, increases the caster's crit by 10% at random and pursue an enemy target after attacking, dealing 35% attack damage 2 times after pursuing. There is 15% fixed chance to pursue the enemy target with the lowest HP and damage by 90% and attacks 2 times. Nice. Alright, so this unit in general is actually not necessarily, I guess, a counter unit, but it does have counters to actually mess around with people. And it's weird because you see when battle starts, grants allies taunt immunity for 2 turns and inflicts clear mind on them, increasing their crit and stuff like this. So she does that to everybody. It doesn't necessarily, it's like not if you're this element or that element, stuff like this. She does that crit increase to everybody for 2 turns. So she's a good support unit, support DPS and kind of like help out on DPS. And then on top of that, she increases her speed, which is actually really good. So that extra 20% right there that she does on top of what she has right now, the 20% would be like another 250 right now, 300. That'll put her up to 1498, which is still slower than most of the speed units in the game, but it's faster than most of the strength and tech units in the game, so that's a good thing as well. So outside of like the really speedy people, she's gonna move before everybody else, so that's actually pretty good. Keep that in mind. But again, that's all based off of being at 15. You need to have like a 15 speed character. I forgot they're gonna do that because I ended up getting back to back of those OG characters. So that was a lot to actually talk about, and I tried to talk as fast as I could while doing some summons, while everything else, because people get caught up and the whole thing, and as long as characters have this ability and scale, like you see, these are majority of all these characters end up in God Realm, and the characters that end up even bigger in God Realm is Pride and Wrath, because they on top of that have the bonds, the pack bonds on top of that as well, so they actually end up scaling into God mode. Like there's probably people who have like max pack and everything else like this. Again, though, you could put pack like on any character kind of, but to get the full benefit, then it needs to be particularly on the special character. And the fact that you can actually have the scaling like that attack alone, and an ability to put speed on this alone. Like I don't even have this like upgraded right now because I just haven't been trying that hard, but The simple fact that you can do that, and again, the same thing with Michael, the simple fact that you can actually do this and scale them, and the game pushes you towards that and gives you dupes just to make sure that these games are at plus 15 on top of that, and then push over after the fact. Like, there's just absolutely no way. There ain't no way, yo. Then you can go to plus 20 on them too without spending money. Ain't no way. So I will catch you guys next video. Peace and see you soon. Thank you, legends, for getting to the end of the video. We do 3 to 4 videos every day. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be first in notification squad. I love everybody who stops by, and I will see you next video. Peace.